Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do a program for a juice groove, or you can also program for a recessed face. So I'm going to start VCarve, and I'm going to measure the inside working face of my board. Now you can't see me doing that, but I'm going to create a new file. Thickness doesn't matter too much, so we're going to leave that at 0.75. And I'm going to actually take my ruler and measure from the top of the curve to the top of the curve, and my overall width, I'm just going to take a couple of different measurements just to make sure I'm good, is 20 and 1/4. So it's going to be 20.25 wide. Just going to measure in one more spot. That is good, 20.25 inches. And then my other measurement, we're going to call it the height, is 10 inches. So from that to that, we're going with 10 inches. So I got some pretty easy measurements. You might not, but that's the size I'm working with. So the flat inside surface of my board, I already did my edge treatment. So we're going to put that off to the side. Do the juice groove first. Let's see here. So we're going to click OK. As far as that goes, I'm going to make a rectangle for this board, and I'm going to essentially make sure that the rectangle is an inch smaller. So I'm going to do a 1/2 inch border around my board, and I want that because it's a 1/2 inch, I need to account for here to here and over here to here. So it's a total of an inch difference in the rectangle. So if I go back to the job dimensions, I need to make my rectangle 19.25 by 9 is what I need to do. So I'm just subtracting an inch from this and subtracting an inch from that. So I'm going to go ahead and do my rectangle, and I'm going to come here and I'm going to say 19.25 by 9, and I'm going to create that. And that should get me a nice centered rectangle. I'm going to close that, and then I'll go here, actually select this, then go here and center it on the board. There we go. That looks good. Now you have to allow for the juice groove. It's going to be wider on both sides of the line. Our groove is a 3/8 ball nose, and I don't know if that necessarily is in here, so we're going to find out. But this is my juice groove profile. So I'm going to switch to toolpaths, go to the profile toolpath. I'm going to select this as that particular thing, and now we need to look at our cutting tools and see what we've got for ball nose. Ball nose is the one that matches the best. Okay, so there actually isn't anything in here that matches it exactly, but we can use the 0.25 inch one. Again, the ball nose we have is going to be 0.375, so it'll be a little bit larger than this cut. So what you see on the screen is just kind of understand that it's going to be a little wider than what you see in the cut. Now, that's way too fast of a feed rate, so our maximum feed rate for this particular cut, we really want to keep it around 30 inches per minute, and our plunge rate, we want to slow that down to 5 inches per minute, so that because it's going to be plunging the bit directly into the wood, so we want to make sure that it is not doing it very quickly. We want that bit to have a chance to cut as it's going down. And I'm going to hit apply here. I want to make sure that that is okay, and that's fine. So we're going to hit OK. Now here we have to do a little bit of editing because our cut depth is kind of going to be determined on how you kind of want this to look. But a traditional cut depth is approximately 1/4 of an inch. So it's not super deep. You could go 3/8, I suppose, but that's going in pretty far. So typically we do a 0.25, and then when you sand it, you're going to kind of round the edges over, and it won't appear to be as deep. So my cut depth here is going to be 0.25, and it's very important that we when you select your tool for the ball nose here, okay, that you understand that this setup is designed to basically cut a round. The base of this, or the bottom, is going to be rounded over. So there you have that. Make sure that Show Advanced Toolpath Options is checked, and it's already set us up to do 2 passes, which is perfect. We don't want to do 1 because that's too deep for this bit to cut all at once. So it's actually going to go around twice, and each time it goes around, it will drop down 0.125 inches or 1/8 inch to make our cut. Now we're going to make sure it's directly on as far as the vector goes, so on the line. We don't want it to the sides, and we want it to be doing the conventional movements on the router. So everything else we're going to leave alone here, and I would recommend and I'm just going to put my initials there and hit the calculate button. All right, let's see what we got. All right, now I'm going to turn it so we can see it from a 3D profile here, and then just hit the play button, and there we go. There's the juice groove. So that looks good. You can see that it's gonna be rounded on the bottom. Maybe it doesn't show that very well, but that's essentially what it's going to look like. And then, of course, you're going to sand this edge and this edge. You're going to soften these edges as part of the sanding process for your juice groove. So there's how to do a juice groove. Okay. Okay, I'm going to actually delete that and make another video where I do the recessed face, which is going to be a different tool, different idea, but same actual rectangle actually. So, all right, hope this helps. And then, of course, you also want to make sure you save this file, and that you can call just features or something like that. It shouldn't be called juice groove, especially if you're going to add a laser down here at some point, because we'll use this same exact layout to do the laser. So save it as something like features or board features so that that's the file that you're going to use for that. Okay, cool.